According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, most small businesses, about 50%, fail by year 5. And I'm blessed and honored to sit here today and tell you, as of August 1st of this year, Kristen Marie Skin has made it to its 5-year business mark. And I'm just so thankful for all of you who have watched and supported this journey. And I wanted to share with you in this video how you can reach this 5-year mark as a solo esthetician or small business owner. And these are the 5 things that I believe have gotten me here today. Number 1 is passion. Number 2 is discipline. Number 3 is diversifying your income. 4, education and reinvesting. And last but not least, number 5 is balance. I'm going to be expanding on these 5 things in this video, so be sure to grab that pen and paper. And I'm just juiced to share with you what these have meant to me, reflect in this video, have a real talk with you, and also to just encourage you. I feel like maybe some of you watching are just getting started, or maybe you've hit a plateau or you're feeling burnt out. This video is going to be for you, so be sure to continue watching. I just got back from the New York City Aesthetic Forum with Zemetz Aesthetics, so be sure to check out the vlog. I posted that last week, and I'm just still coming down from the high from that event. I was able to speak in front of 300 people about how to turn followers into clients, and it was such a valuable topic, and I felt so engaged with the audience and supported. So if I met you in New York City or any other events this year, I'm just so thankful for you, and I'm excited to dive into this topic because just this past weekend I hit that 5-year anniversary as a small business owner. And I remember when I was reading about successful businesses and entrepreneurship years ago, that 5-year mark for some reason just stood out to me. And so reaching this milestone is a huge deal, and I just wanted to celebrate and reflect in this video and share with you what I believe has gotten me here. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Number 1 I mentioned to you was passion. I just remember when I started, I did not have it all figured out. And even still to this day, I don't have the fanciest equipment. I don't have the fanciest studio. I don't have the fanciest camera. I'm not as experienced as some other estheticians out there who have 10+ years of experience. I started with 2 years of experience under my belt during the pandemic and in a really tiny office space that I built from scratch. I had no reason to show up as confidently as I did or as passionately as I did, but because I had actually spent years kind of building up to this moment, I was always somebody who was pushing the norm in my generation and my close friends. I had done multiple things in my career and ventures that was not typical. First thing that I did was become a makeup artist, and I had already started building trust in my name in the industry, in the beauty industry. And so because I showed up passionately for that and other ventures in my life, I also then showed up passionately as an esthetician, and people can feel that. And once I opened up my business, it really triggered more of that fire within me to make it work. I gave myself 6 months in my mind to go all in, and people saw that and they saw me take that risk. And I didn't wait. I didn't wait until the doors were open to start sharing the journey. I started sharing the journey from esthetician school, from, like I said, being a makeup artist and all the other ventures I had done before. People have been seeing my story. So I encourage you, wherever you're at in your journey, is to not wait, do not procrastinate on sharing the journey. I do believe sharing your vulnerable moments and your fears and your mistakes makes your journey more real, more relatable, and then that way you build more trust with the people who are watching. And trust is a big reason, I talked about this a lot in New York City, was building that trust with your audience is so key to success as a business owner and an esthetician. I just love what we do. I love doing facials. I love seeing people's satisfaction and reaction when they get a facial or a beauty service, and just giving them that extra reason to have a pep in their step throughout the day, to feel more confident, to feel beautiful and the best version of themselves. And I get chills just saying that because people really feel that from me. If you're passionate about something, that kind of goes into my next point. We'll skip over discipline really quick and we'll go into the education and reinvesting. So you guys know I am relaunching my in-person training series. In September, we are launching the very first training. Now, I don't know if this is going to be an annual thing or a quarterly thing, So if you're interested at all, I would hop on this opportunity now, because I can't guarantee it's going to be launched again soon or when it will be, and there's very limited spots. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and check out the description box below and enter in your information, and then you'll be sent a PDF with all of the information, the pricing, what's covered. We are offering financial breakdowns of paying for this training. I mean, the time frame is getting a little shorter now, but I'm still open to working something out with you as long as it's paid by a certain date prior to the training. Go ahead and check out all those details if you're interested. But education and reinvesting in your business is so important. I keep mentioning going to events, going to trade shows, taking classes. Ours is going to be hands-on, which I feel like is very unique and not seen very much in our industry. But I think hands-on practice is so important when it comes to being successful, because the more faces you work on, the more comfortable you're gonna get, the more experience you're gonna get, the more familiarity you're gonna build with the skin, and then just learning and educating yourself is then going to, again, build more trust and confidence in yourself of the knowledge that you have to share with your clients and your audience watching. Reinvesting in your business. I have spent countless dollars on machines, on updating things. We rebranded earlier this year. These were not funds that I necessarily had just laying around. These were conscious decisions of me wanting to improve what we had to offer. And then also, I believe the universe rewards you for reinvesting and putting your money where it can multiply again and again and again. And so what you do with a little bit of money is going to translate into what you're going to do with a lot of money. And so if your goal is to expand beyond being a sole esthetician and have employees and have a bigger practice, you're going to want to implement these types of practices from the very get-go, from the beginning. So reinvesting and updating your devices, your treatments, again, investing in continuing education and surrounding yourself with other estheticians that are doing what you're doing. That has been so key lately. Honestly, even just having Kristen, my employee, in my life and in my circle has been so key to keep me going, because even today, even now, there's moments where I'm like, I don't know if I can do this, or I don't this, or I don't know. And she's like, no, you got this. No, you can do this. No, here's my idea. It's just so valuable to have someone in your circle that just can pick you up, that can uplift you. And so, yeah, be very, very conscious of who is in your circle. That is what I'll be talking about later in this video. But just having others around you who are experiencing the same obstacles and celebrations with you and milestones with you. I'm sure you guys have seen me posting about the retreats. We booked up the Costa Rica retreat, but I am planning on launching future ones. So again, check out the description box. But those really are aimed to bring us all together more, to connect, to be around others who are moving and shaking in this industry. That is so important, and I cannot stress that enough. Okay, so let's bounce back to my second point, which now will be my third point, is discipline. Discipline when it comes to all aspects of your business. Let's talk about discipline in finance first. I know I've talked about this before, but I want to drill this into you, especially if you are just getting started, or maybe you're finding yourself in a season where you're running out of funds, or you don't have funds to reinvest into your business. I highly encourage you to stay disciplined with your finances, which means having goals. Number one is to just know how much you're trying to make and how many clients that requires, or services or sales that requires for you to reach those goals. And then also knowing how much you should be setting aside for business expenses, for unexpected expenses, and then also just a retirement fund, a fund for your kids, college, whatever ventures your kids are going to take later in life. The universe recognizes those of you who take and nurture $5. Then once you take and nurture $5, you might be given $500 next. Then if you nurture and take care of $500, you're going to be given $5,000 next. And so I'll admit that, once I got a little taste of success, I'd say by my year 2, 3, being, an influencer and sole esthetician, I started seeing money that I had never seen before. I didn't grow up super privileged and rich. My dad was a single dad raising me and my brother. Thankfully, he was a hardworking man and he was able to put us through, good education, put a roof over our head for the most part. But we definitely had seasons where we did not have fancy things. We did not get a ton of presents for Christmas. We had to wear shoes from Payless or shop for clothes at Ross. Like, I didn't have the luxury of having designers or going on fancy vacations or anything like that. So when I started making the money that I was making, I was like, ooh, like, I'm able to buy this, I'm able to do that. So I will say I went a little crazy, and I was traveling and spending and maybe started partying a little bit again. And I found myself, kind of going through my savings again. And then once the things started happening with my son where he just required more care, and I had to invest more money into his care and take time off work. And now even to this day, I'm not able to work as much because of what he requires, and just for my own mental sanity, I've had to lessen my schedule and find that balance, which again, I'll talk later on in the video about. But I've gotten very close to burning through all the money that I had saved. And although, that maybe to some of you might be like, oh shoot, you shouldn't have done that. But at the same time, that's what savings is for, is because you don't know when you might go through a season where you have to take a step back, or something tragic happens in your family, or someone needs you to care for them. I've heard that actually a lot from students and other estheticians who've had to take a step back and care for others and not work as much. And so having that savings is for that. And then also just having the discipline to know that, yeah, you can enjoy and indulge in certain things, but I think there should be a balance. There should be some money you can have fun with, and then some that's going in the bank. So I will say for a little while, I wasn't as disciplined with saving. And now I'm kind of back into that mindset and discipline for probably the past year or so. And I'm seeing those funds coming back up and up and up, and I'm paying my debts down and more money is coming in. Like, it's just the universe, y'all. That's just how it works. So stay disciplined with your finances. Have a savings for a rainy day. Have a savings for your business. Save for retirement. Have a savings for, a little bit of fun too. You gotta enjoy your fruits as well. It's not doing anything for you if you're just keeping it in the bank as well. So again, there's balance to everything, but stay disciplined with those finances, because I'm telling you, you will never regret being disciplined with your finances. The other thing I want you to stay disciplined with is showing up, is posting that content. And that's exactly what I spoke about at the forum in New York City, was about building a following, but not only building a following, but how to gain clientele from that following. Social media has been a huge, huge tool for our practice specifically to get as booked and busy as we are, and I think we could be doing more, of course. Early on, I was posting quite a bit to build it to where it's at now. I feel like I'm able to take a little bit of a step back because I've built it to where it's at now, and now it's kind of just this well-oiled engine that is just running at this point. Of course, you don't ever want to just fully disappear, but I would say setting a schedule for yourself and sticking to that, especially in the beginning, even more so. I was posting every single day. I was posting 3 to 4 times a week on my feed. I was posting once to twice a week on my YouTube channel. I was going hard, and I would still say, even to this day, still staying disciplined and consistent with social media and showing up. Now we're finally at the balance point. Let me take a little drink of water before I get into this. Okay, balance. With balance comes boundaries and avoiding burnout. So let's have some real talk here. We've been real talking in this video, but even more so right now. And I know if you made it to this part of the video, you're a real one. Hit that like button and comment below which point for you has struck a chord with you, or if you've made it to 5 years in business, what your tip is for our community on how you reached that. Maybe I haven't mentioned it just yet, because guys, these 5 points do not cover everything. These are just the 5 things that came to my mind immediately when I thought of this video, and that I feel like are the most important things. But of course, there's much, much more. But balance and boundaries. Boundaries when it comes to those who you surround yourself with, the people you surround yourself with, and even people in this industry. Okay, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Some people are not happy to see others succeed in this industry because maybe they are unhappy with where they're at, or wondering, I've done all these things and why does this person get recognized for that? I would encourage you to just not compare yourself, to put the blinders on when it comes to your own path and your journey. Comparison will rob you of joy and rob you of what you have been able to accomplish and what you do bring to the table. Every single person, every single esthetician, entrepreneur has something unique to bring to the table. And so I want you to pat yourself on the back for making it to today. Wherever you're at in your life and in your journey, you made it here. You're watching this right now. And I believe that this was divine intervention that you're here watching this video right now. And I'm just so honored to be part of this, part of your journey. And just know that I genuinely will always cheer for you. And I genuinely want to see you be successful. But not everybody, even in this industry or in your personal life, will be supportive. And that could come down to the people that you're friends with, your family, your significant other. There have been several tough decisions that I've had to make over the past 5 years of who I have allowed into my life and who gets to stay as I've elevated. And so as you grow and elevate in your practice and reach certain milestones and reach certain amount of income, or you get these opportunities to travel and make content and all those things, not everybody is going to be able to join you in that part of your journey or be happy for you. And sometimes it takes letting go of these really precious people in your life. Now, it doesn't mean you need to necessarily cut them off cold turkey unless necessary, but there might need to be a little bit more limited association. And I've always encouraged people to not tell other people what to do. I've found that me telling people what they should do is never a good approach. I've always just now tried to just be an example, and I only give advice when asked for it. So make sure that when you're having conversations with people that are not doing what we're doing, to tread carefully, and just when it's asked, when your opinion is asked or your advice is asked for, then share it. But I would not walk around telling people how they should live their life and what they should do. That is never going to work for you. People need to be ready to receive that information and that advice. So I know that that's a lesson that I've learned with others who are not in this position, and that not everybody's going to understand. And not everybody is meant to come with you to the next chapter. And that's okay. Some people in your life are there for a reason and a season. And I've definitely had to say some tough goodbyes. But being where I'm at now, I can happily say that I have no regrets when it comes to those that I've had to let go of or distance myself from. And I always wish them the best. I will always, always, always wish them the best. But again, I'm so happy to be where I'm at today, and I have no regrets whatsoever. Am I perfect? No, absolutely not. I feel like I could have approached some things and situations differently, but that's life, right? We make mistakes, we grow, we learn. And as long as that's what you're striving for, there is nothing you should regret if you've done your very best and with what you knew was the best thing to do in that moment. Last thing is about balance and avoiding burnout. Balance when it comes to your schedule. I think we go into our practices wanting to just be booked and busy, and I do think that there's a time and season for that. I think when you're first getting started, especially if you have no children and you're not married, I would go as insanely hard as possible. Even if you are a parent, of course, you still can. I did. But I did it in a season where my son didn't require as much care at the time. And so I went hard, and I'm glad that I did when I did, because now that he requires a bit more of my love and attention and time, I'm able to take a little bit of a step back when it comes to my schedule. And so I've been perfectly happy with having 2 to 3 people on my books a day. I used to have 7 or 8, sometimes even more than that. And yeah, I was making bank, but because I was able to diversify my income, which I just realized I did not touch on that point just yet, but that was my other point, was diversifying your income. That is a super important part of having a successful 5-year business, is diversifying your income in some way, shape, or form. Now, that doesn't mean that you need to be a full-on influencer like me, but come up with some other streams of income that can relate to what you're doing, and make sure that you have diversity of income in your practice. So whether that means retailing or doing online products and resources for other estheticians, making content, and even it could be something, I guess, outside of aesthetics. There's so many other really small ways to put your money toward other ventures. Like, I mean, there's so many, just look it up, of what other side hustles you could do, like real estate investing, stocks, find a fun little job that you have, working maybe somewhere that is beauty related, or you're still maybe working at a spa part-time. I would highly suggest diversifying your income so that you can focus your passion on your business and that you show up authentically as you, being happy and excited to do the job and work on the client that's in front of you. I think that's super important to keep the integrity of what you're doing alive, and so that, again, you don't burn out. And so I would encourage you to make sure you're taking breaks, putting breaks in your schedule as if it's part of your job, because you need to take care of your body as well, making sure you're staying hydrated, you're eating right, you're working out, you're taking care of your temple, not overdoing it. I mean, you can go hard for a period of time, but just know that you're going to reach a point where you're going to be like, whew, I'm spent. And so I will say that because I was able to diversify my income and save and all that, I have been able to take a step back more and continue. And so that's allowed me to not quit. I'll be real with you. There's been moments in this journey where I've wanted to quit, even though for some of you might be like, like why? You have it going on. Trust me, you can never judge what is going on the outside for anybody. You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You don't know what's going on with someone mentally, spiritually, emotionally. And y'all, I've been in therapy. I've been working on myself. I've gone through my own traumas in life. I did not have the ideal upbringing. I've had moments of depression. I've had moments of anxiety. I've had moments of doubting myself. And so sometimes you are your number one enemy when it comes to reaching that 5-year mark, because you just don't believe in yourself. And so I'm going to throw this little one in there, is belief in yourself. And belief that it's possible. It is shown, it's scientifically proven that belief in yourself already puts you a step ahead of those who do not believe in themselves. So put that energy out there, believe in yourself, re-spark that passion, stay disciplined, diversify your income, reinvest in your business and education, and create balance in your schedule. I'm going to leave you off with that. I love you so, so much. I hope this was helpful. Hit the subscribe button. Comment down below, give me some love, comment some hearts and sparkles, whatever it is. Send me some love. I'm sending you my love and good energy. And I cannot wait to see you back here next week for a new one. And until then, stay safe. I love you, and I'll see you then. Bye.